Hello everyone, welcome to Crystal Eclipse. My name is Jessica. In this video, we'll be asking the cards as per a request. Have you met your future spouse yet? And if so, what kind of signs you should be looking out for to know if it's the right person? If you haven't met your future spouse yet, what signs to be on the lookout for when it comes to actually recognizing this person as your future spouse? So, if you're not interested in getting married or you're not looking for a future spouse, you can also consider this a life partner reading, or your next long-term love interest. So I have 4 stacks for you all to choose from today. We have obsidian, labradorite, rose quartz, and lastly, we have aventurine. So choose whichever stack or stacks call out to you. You can check the description box or the comment section for timestamps if you'd like to skip directly to the stack or stacks that call out to you. And remember, if multiple stacks call out to you, that's perfectly fine. Take whatever you feel is meant for you in those messages. The entire reading night might not be meant for you, but there might be like core features or pieces of information in those stacks for you. So let me move these cards out of the way and we'll go ahead and get started on these readings. Starting off with our first stack here, once again, we have obsidian coming out. When it comes to your future spouse or this next long-term love interest, this life partner, whatever you feel most connected to when it comes to these readings. First card coming out is, we have the Two of Cups, which is a great card to come out here. We have the Hanged Man, which is very interesting. So I'm already getting a pretty good feel here on this person. We have Clematis. We have the Three of Wands here. Let me see if I can reposition some of these. We have the Nine of Acorns with power and perseverance. And lastly, we have compassion. So we have a very good assortment of cards coming out. And I feel like with the first 2 cards with Two of Cups and the Hanged Man, seems like you actually do know this person. Like I would say when it comes to this partner of yours that's coming through, this future spouse, this life partner, it does seem like you know this person. The only thing that's coming through though that's saying that there might be, either some hesitation or something that seems like it's actually not a developed relationship is the Hanged Man. And because of that, I'm seeing it more as this is either a friendship or an acquaintance right now. But you're building up a very strong bond with this person. So there is something very good here. I feel like you know this person, you've had conversations with it. For some of you, this might be somebody that you've just recently met and it is currently growing into something stronger. At the same time, this could be somebody that you've already known and either you felt a strong connection to this person, you wanted a relationship with them, but something either pulled you apart or said that it wasn't the right timing yet, because the Hanged Man is like, this is the right, couple. This is the right situation. This is the right combination of people, but it's not the right timing. We have that soulmate card, that soulmate energy, that connection that like you two are meant to be together, but it was not the right timing for you, or it's still not the right timing for this to progress into a relationship. So I'd say you do know who your future spouse is, but it just doesn't seem like it's romantic yet, or if it was romantic, it seems like it just wasn't able to really grow into what it will be in the future. So I see that mainly coming out when it comes to this person. Like I'm pretty sure you know this. It's either just an acquaintance or a friend right now, a person that you knew that you wanted more with, but it's not there yet. When it comes to this person's personality, though, we see a lot of really positive cards here that I think like will either definitely tell you that the person you're thinking of is the right person, or will make very like almost like clarify who it is when you do meet them. So these are all the signs you should be on the lookout for when it comes to this person. We have Clematis coming out here. So this person is very bright, very positive. They radiate very good energy. They're happy. They're optimistic. They bring brightness into the darkest rooms. Like they are such a positive, bright person. You feel it. Like when you're feeling down, this person just makes you feel so happy. They have such a powerful way of just turning around the situation. No matter how negative it is, no matter what's going on, it's like they almost come along and absorb your worries, so you don't have to suffer with what's going on anymore. They're a great distraction. They are just this it's like huge smile when things are just going crazy. I feel like this person is such a great, like almost like the sun, you know, they just come in, and it's like after a storm, they come in and it's just the brightness that you feel off of the sun. That's really what I'm seeing with this person. Just a really, really just bright person. With the Three of Wands, I sort of see it two ways. We see it as both somebody who is very serious, and we can tie that into the Nine of Acorns with power and perseverance. Somebody who's very serious, really like puts a lot of effort into everything they do, is very dedicated to everything, whether it comes to work, relationships, their interests. They're very dedicated. They make sure to balance time out. They want to make sure everything has its own place, and to make sure that they're doing what they need to do in every aspect. So they don't want to like put too much energy into work, because they don't want like work to sabotage the relationship. They are also want to make sure that there's always time to do everything that they really need to. So it's somebody who's really mindful when it comes to so many different things. Just such like they evaluate everything, but in a way it's not like in an annoying way or in an obsessive way. It really is somebody who just puts a lot of thought into things to make sure that everything is just very smooth. The second way I see this is it's almost coming across as though this person has been waiting a long time for you to come in. And it's not like they met you and they've been hoping that you'll like, you know, make a move or tell them that they, you know, you find them attractive. This is more on like a spiritual level where they've been waiting for this soulmate to come in. And we have the Two of Cups with that soulmate energy coming through her as that like counterpart that they've been hoping for a while. They've been waiting and waiting, and they're like looking out for you to come in, and it almost seems like they've been waiting for you almost longer than you've been waiting for them. There's so much energy in that. Like this is something that they've been preparing for a while. We also see that in the Nine of Acorns with power and perseverance, making sure that everything is where it needs to be for this relationship to work out, and to almost have this outlook like they knew that the timing wasn't right in the past, and that's why they're working so hard to make sure that when this opportunity does come to them, that they'll be able to take it and move forward with it. They're all about building up this relationship, building up this bond, and it could be that's why we're seeing that almost pause when it comes to the development of the relationship with the Two of Cups next to the Hangman. It could be that they're well aware that wasn't the proper timing, or it's not the right timing yet, so they'd rather like have you as a friend, or almost like keep you there without it progressing into more, just so that they can build up the right foundation to make this a successful relationship in the future. It's almost like right now they're doing all they can with the option that's in front of us, or in front of you, you know, just trying to do everything to make sure that they know you, that they're great friends, that they're the person that you can rely on, the person that is there for you, so that it's an even stronger relationship when it finally does become romantic. And then we finally see in the last card of compassion, and this is like sort of like that key personality, the things that really make them them. And with compassion coming through, we see somebody who's very supportive, somebody very open, a person who you can rely on, go to, talk to, share, you know, just what's going on in your life. Somebody who is there to always listen, always hear what you have to say. They're not a critical person. They're one who takes things in, might offer advice here and there when they think you need it. But I feel like this is just a very supportive person, somebody who really genuinely cares about you, about the people around them, about their relationships, and is really able to be the right support when you need it. So it's like if you need somebody to be a little more stern, they can be that stern person. If you need somebody to just listen, they're the type that can just listen. So overall, we see a really great person. Mainly, I would lean toward you've met them, but it just hasn't developed to a point where you can actually say this is your significant other or this is your partner. But I would say you've probably already met them by the time that you're watching this video, even if it's just an acquaintance. But I feel like this person is just like such a wonderful, radiating, bright person that is just like somebody that you can just adore. This is such a wonderful person coming through here. So that is the first stack here with Obsidian. And of course, I do hope that this was able to resonate with you or help you. And I want to thank you for watching whatever portion of the video you have. I hope you and all your loved ones are doing well and staying safe and healthy. And I really do just wish you a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye. So I'm starting off with our second stack here, and Labradorite. When it comes to your future spouse or this life partner, this long-term love interest that's coming through for you, we have our first card, and that is the Hierophant. Next up, we have the Emperor. It's sort of interesting with that layout of those two cards coming through here. We have Chamomile. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Queen of Feathers with Perception and Truth. And lastly, we have Trust coming through. So what's sort of interesting here is we have the Hierophant coming out in that first position, and that usually represents unions or sort of like a religious figure. Sometimes it does represent just divine knowledge or a higher source's knowledge, but also marriage. So we do see that almost confirmation coming through for you when it comes to this reading about your future spouse or this life partner, as being somebody that you can really connect with, some longevity, long-term relationship here, and marriage with this reading. What is interesting though is we have the Hierophant coming out next to the Emperor. Normally the Hierophant is depicted as, or is considered, Taurus in the sign of zodiac, but the Empress is also heavily related to Taurus because the Empress represents earth signs. So sort of interesting, we sort of have an equivalent coming through with a Hierophant here. We do see what would be more of a female form of the Hierophant within this Hierophant card next to the Emperor. So it's almost like we have an equivalent of what would be the Empress next to the Emperor. Because of that though, I would say it doesn't seem like you know this person, because there is a separation between these two. Because I almost want to read that Hierophant as both the Empress and the Hierophant sort of combined. We see that there's not a union yet between the two of you, and there is a separation since there are two separate cards here. So it seems like right now you haven't met yet. If you have, then it's definitely like not a romantic relationship. Like it hasn't developed into anything yet. It just seems like there's a separation going on here. I also wouldn't say that you know this person seemingly, because it almost like there's different backgrounds going on here. I don't see a union here that would say that you've sort of known each other, or that this is a previous relationship that's coming back. Unless it never really developed into a romantic relationship. If it didn't, then it could be a previous person, but I will lean more toward you haven't met them yet. So if you have met them, you can still take all these details and see if they apply to this person. But otherwise, just take these sort of like key personality traits, or these signs that I will, you know, take out of these next cards, and you know, sort of remember them so that you can be on the lookout when this person does come into your life, and recognize this person for who they are, and sort of like make sure you don't miss out on the opportunity to meet them. So we have two very compatible people, because we have the Hierophant, we have the Emperor, and once again I was sort of reading that as more of the Empress. So we have two people that get along pretty well. There's a lot of you know, give and take in this relationship, but when it comes down to it, it's just an equal understanding. So this person is like very perfect for you. They complement you in every way. They see you as an equal. The conversations are very mature. There's no childish energy here. We don't see anything that would be like immature, or things that just feel like you're not getting through to them. This person is very wise, very understanding, very open, and they're just willing to work on every aspect of the relationship and of themselves. So I see this as a very confident, capable person who's just very, very wise, no matter how old they are. I see them like just being very mature. We have Chamomile coming through here. When it comes to Chamomile, we see somebody who's very calm, very relaxed, somebody who's very supportive, reliable, all those things that I would attribute to the Emperor. Of course, it doesn't mean that, you know, like this is masculine energy, so this is a male that's coming in. This can apply to male, female, whoever, you know, it is that you're looking for. We're just seeing somebody here who is just very calm. They're not quick to jump on things. They're not like very high energy. They're just somebody who's very calming, very you know, more go with the flow. They want to see things out before they react to them, before they jump on things. They're not quick to make a decision based off of like little information. See this person as just they want to evaluate things to make sure that whatever is coming to them is just smooth. You know, they just like smooth sailing. But they also want to be peaceful. They really enjoy their peace, and they want peace in other people's lives. So you can really feel that calmness from them, and that like de-escalation of any situation. So if there's something going wrong, you really feel like with them there's a calmness. There's no worries. Even like the world can be falling apart, but for some reason when you're with them, it doesn't feel that way. Like there's just this very really peaceful, but like almost like there's can never be a rise out of them. I feel like you, no matter what, they never really get you know, shocked or overly concerned. There's nothing overly about them. They're just very accepting of life. They react accordingly, but I don't feel like this person is just like too much, you know. They're not very strong in their movements. They're just very calm, and it's all in a good way. It's not in a bad way where it's like they never respond. They do respond well, but they're just one who's just more peaceful than anything. They want to remain as like zen as possible. We have the Ace of Wands. It's interesting because we have a fire sign in the Emperor. We have the Ace of Wands as another fire sign. What's interesting here is though, we sort of see the wand that is being compared to the candle, and the candle's like got this little flame. Well, in the background the sun is like burning. It's huge, and it's like different aspects of who they are. Like when it comes to them, they have that ability to really like be a huge presence, but they choose not to be. They choose to sort of remain in the background, or they choose to just be the person that is strong and capable. But I don't think this person really likes to be like the center of attention. They don't really seem like a person who wants a lot of attention on them. So you don't see them really talking a lot. You don't see them going out there and like making a scene. They can be a really like strong personality. They do have that capability, but I feel like that's just not who they are. They'd rather just you know, stay sort of to themselves and not really get to like, you know, out there. They really have their like comfort zone when it comes to that card. We also see it again with the Queen of Feathers coming in with perception and truth. Somebody who really is careful with their wording. Somebody who pays attention a lot to the things that they say. They aren't quick to speak or respond to things. They just really evaluate the situation they're in order to keep things just smooth sailing. That's back to that peace. They really like peace, so they really heavily you know, evaluate everything to make sure that there aren't any disruptions, or just to sort of limit the sort of like chaos in life. And lastly, we have trust. Trust coming through is a person that is easy to talk to, a person that's heavily invested in the relationship, a person that you are developing a very strong bond with. And it's tying back into all these cards. Somebody that you're not worried about you know, telling things to, because they won't judge you. They're not quick to say something in response, so you don't have to worry about the way that they sort of respond to negativity, to arguments. This person is somebody who really sees you in such a beautiful light that I feel like anything they say or any way that they sort of talk to you just seems here like they just want to make sure that you're comfortable with them. And that's really what I see. Like they want this comfort a lot. They just want to be in like that happy home-like relationship. And I feel almost like because of past relationships or relationships that they've seen, they're really wanting to work hard on having a good relationship. They know like what's realistic, what's not realistic, but I feel like their goal is to just have a very peaceful relationship. So that's what I'm seeing here with the second stack and Labradorite. Leaning more toward you not knowing this person. There's a chance that you do. If those signs do sort of resonate with the person that you're thinking of, that's really great. But I really want to thank you for watching. whatever portion of this video you have. And I do hope that this video was helpful. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you and all your loved ones are doing well and staying safe and healthy. Please have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye. Starting with our third stack here, we have rose quartz. When it comes to your future spouse or this life partner, this long-term love interest, whichever you're sort of watching this video for, first card here is the Ten of Cups, which is a great card to come out here. We have the Nine of Pentacles coming out next. We have Ivy. We have the Hierophant, which is interesting. We had that in the previous stack. We'll see if you should watch that one. We have the Chariot with discipline and determination. And lastly, we have Dare to Dream. So it's the previous stack did have the Hierophant in it. So if you want to watch that, you can. I'm leaning more toward, it doesn't really seem like there is a connection made between the two, but you might be able to sort of see that if you were to go back and you know, watch that one. There are some key factors that I'm already seeing, so you might be drawn to the Labradorite or the second stack if you want to watch that. So we have the Ten of Cups coming out first. We have it next to the Nine of Pentacles. So with that, it seems like you probably have not met this person, or it seems like here you haven't actually had the chance to develop this into the relationship that you were hoping for. So it doesn't seem like you know this person, or at least it feels like here like it hasn't come close to like marriage or anything yet with those two cards. We do see the Ten of Cups as like the potential. So this could be somebody that you had your eyes on and that you were really hoping for a relationship with, but something caused a delay, or there's something that is leading to a separation between the two of you. Mainly because we see the Nine of Pentacles here, where she's sort of standing alone evaluating things. Seems to me more like there was a pause in that relationship, or there was a stop before you can be in that relationship as committed as you were hoping for, because there are other things that need to be done right now on your side. So there's a lot of growth that needs to happen to make sure that you're like really at the right place for this relationship to come in and to work out. So that's mainly what I'm seeing here. Is it's just like it wasn't really able to develop to the point where like it really should have been, or where you wanted it to be. But at the same time, this could be somebody that you really haven't met yet. You might be like both channeling each other at the same time, you know, both trying to manifest each other and try to lead the other one, you know, toward you. But it seems like there's all these similar goals and ideas going on with that first card of the Ten of Cups, but it just didn't seem like it was going to develop right at that time. So once again, like you might have known this person, you might not know this person, but it just doesn't seem like it's the right time yet. We do have other cards that are coming in as things that are positive, and we do see forward movement toward this relationship. So they could be coming in pretty soon, or this could be changing pretty soon. So we have Ivy coming in, and when it comes to Ivy, we see somebody who is very dedicated, somebody who is willing to put in a lot of very, very hard work, a lot of effort into this relationship. These are like the key points to be on the lookout for when it comes to this person. So if you've already met them, they're very dedicated, they're hard workers, they're definitely in it for the long haul. You can feel that energy. It's somebody who you really feel like a good amount of just care from. Like this person genuinely cares about you, and you can feel like anything they do, they're willing to work incredibly hard for. They're not ones to give up. They're just the type to keep moving forward and do whatever it takes to really like invest themselves in that situation to like ensure that things work out well. We see the Hierophant here. We can see the Hierophant in sort of like two ways. We see it as that Cheshire cat that is sort of like trying to help Alice, but is he really helpful? It's like it depends on the situation. So somebody who's trying to give clarity, but in a almost borderline unhelpful way. But I feel like this is sort of like their personality. They have this this playfulness to them where they are trying to be helpful. They want to lighten the mood if there's anything that's sad or anything that is sort of like a distraction that's creating some negativity. They want to like bring back that positivity. So I feel like that's a lot of what they do, a lot of what they put their hard work into. I also think with the Hierophant coming out here, we also have somebody who is very like serious, somebody who is very wise. So at the same time, like they have this way of being almost a little bit of everything. They're joker, they're helpful, they're serious, they're wise, they have so many answers, but they really know how to handle each situation, how to respond to what's going on in life. And I don't think this person will say like things that are either like wrong, you know, or just like hurtful. I think this person really has a deep understanding of how to communicate with people, how to just like be around everyone. And I think when it comes to that relationship with you, I see it as the hard work that they'll put in, where they can really easily evaluate the situation and make sure that they're moving through it properly, that they're putting in the right amount of effort, that they're doing what you need done in order to make sure that this relationship is successful. So a lot coming through with Ivy and the Hierophant as just somebody who is just very very grounded, very dedicated, somebody who really like can truly evaluate the situation for the best, you know, really works hard to handle things so that things are always very successful, or at least as successful as possible. So we have a Hierophant going into the Chariot with discipline and determination. So that shows the other part of like their seriousness, the person that they are. We have the Joker sort of with the Hierophant, but at the same time, that serious person. And then we have that one that is just constantly moving forward, constantly like on the lookout for how to better things, how to reach the next level, how to create an even brighter future. And I feel like this is such a strong part of who they are. They are such a go-getter, somebody who's so completely dedicated to everything they do, especially when it comes to this relationship. I see it as somebody who just put in a lot of work. So if you do know this person, right, and you wanted a relationship in the past and it wasn't working out, I feel like when it comes to these cards, especially when it comes to the Chariot, you felt that energy from them, that they were willing to put in that work. They were willing to work very hard for this, like the success of this relationship. But it's almost like they knew that it just wasn't going to work out at that time. So there's nothing that they could really do besides sort of say, you know, I'll do what I can, but at the same time, it might not be enough. I don't feel like they gave up. I feel like they almost like felt like they didn't have an option to continue, or they realized that since it wasn't going to be successful at that time, to invest their energy in other parts of life. So it could have been that since they knew it wasn't the right time for this relationship to develop, that they decided to go ahead and work harder for their career, or work harder for, you know, other parts of their life. This could also be you, where it's like you knew this relationship wasn't like going to work out at that time, so you also like put your energy toward other things, bettering yourself, getting like, you know, a higher position, going back to school or continuing school, higher education. It just seems like when it comes to that card, we're seeing just that forward movement. Lastly, we have Dare to Dream. Dare to Dream represents a lot about like their core personality. They're a hopeful person. They're always able to look forward. They take every opportunity that's given to them. They never are, you know, ones to ignore things. They don't feel like you know, they've been left behind. They always see things as an advantage to them. Always, you know, are very grateful for things. They never take anything for granted. Somebody who always just seizes the day, seizes the opportunity. I feel like this is really them in a nutshell. They're just such an outgoing person who, when it comes to everything, they just really dedicate themselves to so much and are just so genuinely happy. So once again, more leaning toward this never really developed into something that was a strong relationship, or you just don't know them yet and it just hasn't, you know, it's not the right timing for this relationship. But I feel like this is a really good person that's coming through here, and somebody who is really like such a good part of of this relationship. So dedicated and such like a hopeful person. So that's what I'm seeing with this third stack here and the rose quartz. I hope that you were able to find something that resonated with you. And I thank you so much for watching whatever portion of this video you have. I hope you and all your loved ones are doing well, staying safe and healthy. Have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye. Starting off with our last stack, or fourth stack here, with adventuring. When it comes to your future spouse or this life partner, this next long-term love interest, our first card coming out here is the Six of Cups. One of my favorite cards to come out here. If anything, probably like my top favorite card when it comes to love. We have the King of Wands. We have Tulip. Oh, we have the Emperor. We have the Emperor come out in another stack, which is interesting. We have the Hierophant and the Emperor. We have the Seven of Shells with choice and ambitions. This would be the Seven of Cups. And we have, lastly, surrender. So when it comes to the first cards here, I feel like you've met this person. But it seems like it's been in the past. Like if this was a relationship, then it is a previous relationship that has ended. That either you might have like lost contact with, or there was, you know, a pretty big distance between when this relationship ended and when you're watching this. So it could be somebody that you know, purely based off the Six of Cups, we see that like sort of endless time, you know, youth, old age, you know, maturity, childhood, everything represented within that Six of Cups card. So let's say here with that card coming out here, it does seem like you've met somebody, but it does seem like it's been in the past. Of course, like this could be a couple months, this could be a couple years. Mainly, it just seems like a past relationship that has ended, that maybe you think about here or there. It does seem that way because we have the King of Wands coming out next to it, and he's sort of like looking back on that relationship fondly. But it seems like there's definitely you know, it's been put in the past. There's some distance here between the present when you're watching this and that previous relationship. So I lean more toward you knowing this person. This could have also been somebody that you met in your childhood that is sort of returning, that you never saw as a love interest. But either way, it almost seems like you have met this person. Even if it wasn't, you know, like a love interest that you had in the past, this could have been somebody that you spent a lot of time with, that is going to return in your future. Like they say, majority of people have already met, you know, their soulmate or their spouse, their life partner. It just like hasn't developed yet. So I would mainly say it does seem like you've met this person somehow, some way. When it comes to this person's personality, the things that you should be on the lookout for, or like sort of like keep in your mind when you're talking to these people, or when you're thinking about the person that is like currently on your mind, these are sort of like the things to call on. So when we have Tulip coming out here, we see somebody who's very supportive. So somebody who always has your back, somebody who is there for you, somebody's like who's rooting for you, you know, they know like your capabilities, so they might not, you know, always tell you like you can do it, but I feel like they have that mindset of always telling you you can do this, or you've got this, that they have faith in you, they believe in you, and that at the same time that there's a person, somebody who is very accepting of you. They want you to grow, but at the same time they're not going to tell you like you have too many flaws or be too concerned with your flaws. I feel like this is somebody who's very accepting and is willing to just be in that relationship, be in the moment with you, and just see where it goes, because it just seems like with their personality, they just want the best for you. They want the best for the relationship, and it's like all about doing things that really ensure that positivity and that growth within this relationship. We also see the Emperor coming out here next to it, and we see the Emperor in this card as sort of like surrounded by all these different birds, surrounded by friends, family, loved ones. Well, normally we wouldn't see the Emperor surrounded by anybody in that normal like Rider-Waite-Smith tarot depiction. We see him just sitting there alone. Here we see somebody who's almost like got all these friends, and you get to see them surrounded by everybody that they really care about, all these people that look up to them, all these people that have very good things to say about them. And that's really who this person is. Like everybody around them has such wonderful things to say about them, such positive things, about all the great things that they've done. They really seem to be a very lovely person, somebody who's very helpful. Almost gives me the energy of somebody who is like either the head of their house or the one that provides the most support to other people. So it seems like somebody who just really has a lot of say in the things that go on in their family. Somebody who's really got this great presence. I wouldn't say like it's like they're the ones that sort of like support everyone, you know, like they give them money. It just seems like here they are the wise one, the one that people go to for help, for reassurance, for you know, opinions, or just overall, just like if they're having a bad day and they really need somebody else to help sort things out, and to give them that feedback from like a third party, or not a third party, a third angle, you know, somebody else that is an outsider. That's what I'm seeing here, like that outsider, neutral sort of point of view, where they can really get some good advice. I feel like this person's just really got a great mindset. We have 7 of Shells coming through with choice and ambitions, and all these things that are sort of going on. I find this card interesting every time I see it, because we see 6 of the shells in the front, and then there's that one in the back that's sort of like off to the side, where you wonder, are they aware of that like shell over here? You know, is that lobster aware that that shell is behind it? You try to figure it out, and I feel like here this person has this really unique way of looking at the world, where they really balance things out. And even when you think like maybe they've forgotten this, or maybe they're not paying attention to this, I feel like this person really has great control, great memory, great understanding. They're always able to evaluate every situation very clearly. So even if things seem like they're completely chaotic, this person really has a firm grasp on what's going on. And it's not that situation of like, oh, but you're forgetting this. They already had it planned. It's really seemingly like this person just has this really interesting way of looking at things, and really like evaluating everything. So nothing is forgotten. Everything is there, and they see everything. They have this really like organized mindset when it comes to just life in general, but also to make sure that they're not forgetting things. So they don't want people around them to feel sort of like they're forgotten. They don't want people to feel neglected, or like if they're not being given time or attention. Also feel with that choice and ambitions here, this person really thinks heavily about everything and makes sure that the choices that they're making are right for them, but also like good choices that are satisfying to them, choices that they won't regret, because like they won't take an opportunity that like will make them unhappy just to serve them like in a different way. I feel like this person really heavily thinks about everything to make sure that every choice is right, especially when it comes to this relationship, because I feel like they have a lot of goals when it comes to relationship. So it might have been that in the past they've either had either not so good relationships, or they've not had a lot of relationships because they feel like there's something that they're searching for, or something that they're in need of that they just haven't found yet. Not in a bad way. I feel like this person really just wants somebody who wants the same thing that they want, and they've had a hard time finding somebody who wants that like commitment, that long-term, you know, that marriage, that life partner aspect. I feel like they just haven't found that person yet. The last thing we have, surrender, coming through here. And this is somebody who is really willing to work on themselves. This is somebody who's willing to listen to feedback, to hear what others have to say, so that they can grow, because they know that they themselves are not perfect, and therefore, you know, assuming that they are, acting like they are, it won't allow for a positive relationship. So they see things, you know, very open. You can give them feedback, you can comment on things, and they will be very accepting of it. They'll say like, thank you for telling me that, so that I can improve. I mean, like, they might not say that exactly, but that is their personality, where they really feel that way, like they want to improve themselves so that things can be successful. So mainly I would say here, just a very good person. I think they're a very mature person that's coming through here, very wise, somebody who's you might not see as like they've got everything under control, but I think they always have everything under control. Very bright, positive person. And it seems like here you might have met this person, I'm not sure when. So it's either this is a previous relationship that came to an end, but just wasn't the time for it to be successful, but it's definitely an end of a relationship. This could be somebody you met when you were young that's coming back through here. And it could also be somebody that is coming in soon, so a new person. But mainly, that's what I'm seeing here with this last deck and this adventuring. And I really want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch whatever portion of the video you have. I hope that something was able to resonate with you. I hope that you and all your loved ones are doing well and staying safe and healthy. And as always, please have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye.